I've sent tens of millions of cold emails, and I saw a lot of signal data being advertised or across the space. I've tried a couple sources, but it never really worked out because the data that they actually gave me in terms of who's looking to buy lead generation services or who's looking to buy a new CRM, right? They were never accurate. So in this video, I want to break down how I run signal-based campaigns today so you can actually run this yourself as well, but in a way that actually works, right? So we're going to cover how I'm using one sentence emails to then fuel my intent-based campaign. And this is going to be very nice because usually how this would work is you would sign up with any of the big prospect data providers such as Apollo or LinkedIn or similar stuff, right? Prospeo. You could use all of these different tools to get signal data, or I think they call it high intent data or something. The thing with those is that you and I don't know what kind of signals they're using to actually determine whether someone actually has some buying intent for the type of thing that you're selling right now. So instead of using that data where it's like you don't really know if it works and it's expensive, I found a way that 100% works and it's super cheap. And this is how it works. So we're going to give you a very quick rundown. So essentially, you're going to have campaign A, right? And we're going to call this the one sentence campaign, OSC, right? This is the one sentence campaign. This campaign will ask your prospects whether they have a certain thing that you're looking for. So that might be, are you using Klaviyo for email marketing, right? This might be the first type of signal. Another one might be, are you using Salesforce? All right. Or are you looking to update your CMS? Whatever it might be, you can actually do that and get pretty good responses. And if you don't exactly know, like if I'm being serious about this, literally the email would look something like this. Hey, first name, are you using Klaviyo for email marketing? Right? And if they say yes or no, you have your answer, which is quite cool. Because with all the yeses, you can now go ahead and bring all of these people to your conversion campaign. So let's set that up. Boom. This is your conversion campaign. And in here, you literally give these people a response saying, will do X, Y, and Z, whatever offer you have, like insert offer. Basically, we will insert offer. Basically, that's it. So this way you can run through your entire market with 10, 20, 30,000 emails a day, asking very simple questions, which is also pretty good because this is less prone to being marked as spam because it's super short. And you will probably also reach all Outlook inboxes with this because it's super short. Like you will just go through the spam filters pretty easily, which is super nice. To then gather the data and then reach out back to these people with a conversion campaign. Now, there are a couple ways to set this up. Like you could actually have, as I've shown it right now on screen, you could have literally two different campaigns where whenever you get a positive response, you enroll them automatically in this conversion campaign, right? So you would first gather all the people that actually have that signal that you're looking for. Could also be, hey, if you're a recruiter, right? Hey, first name, are you looking for a new job? By the way, if your socials and websites are solid, you might even convert people just by asking this question. Just saying. But yeah, so you might have this one campaign to just like gather all the data, like get them in the hundreds or even thousands, especially if you push out real solid volume. And then once you have your intent data, you can push them all over to the conversion campaign where you have your usual direct response copy. If you've watched any of my videos about copywriting, you will know exactly how that email looks. So it's like, hey, first name, saw you had insert intent. We will insert offer, and then case study relevant to prospect, and then insert no-brainer CTA. Pretty much. This is exactly what it is, right? So you would send out this email to them afterwards. If you want to run this on a smaller scale, you could set it up in a way where you have a reply follow-up campaign or a subsequence, depending on what sequencer you use. They have different names, but it's the same thing. So for email bison, it's a reply follow-up campaign. For Smartly, then instantly, it's subsequences, where whenever you get a yes, they will immediately get pushed over and they will receive this email in the same thread. This sounds like the better thing, but sometimes it just makes more sense to like run all through this, like run crazy volume through this campaign and build yourself new lists and then reach out to them later on at once. Like this could also make sense. There are some use cases where that might make more sense. For most people, I assume it's gonna be better to just like have this one sentence campaign and then a subsequence where you immediately respond, to all yeses within the same thread with this offer. Boom. Boom. That's pretty much it. Yes. This is how I run signal-based campaigns. You don't really need all of that expensive data, because if you also then have our email scrapers, like we have built our own email scrapers internally using Cloud Code and Cloud Code pretty much, where it guesses email addresses, which is really cool. Like basically we can pull the website and the first and last name of any given prospect that we want to reach out to, right? So we first out who's ICP fit from all companies, and then we find the perfect like job titles within those companies. They will have a first and last name, right? And then we will also have the company domain. If we have these things, we can then guess what their email might look like, what their business email might look like. So it might be first dot last name. It might be just like the first letter of the first name and then last name. It might be first letter dot last name, right? We will guess a couple, and then we will just literally brute force. We will send them all to a verification tool, like a very cheap one that is solid. And then we will find out for one person at that company what their actual format is for emails, right? As soon as we have that, we will automatically enrich the other ones as well, because we will know they will be valid. We do that across the board with like thousands and tens of thousands of companies. And then we will send them all into verification again. And then we'll have a full-on solid list. And this list usually will be a 60th of the price of normal email addresses. And if you combine that with the fact that this is not even a normal email address that we're comparing this to, but signal-based prospects, right? Which are even more expensive because they cost even more credits. It's probably 120th of whatever you would usually pay per contact. Yes, you would need more volume to push this through, but that is fine because it's super cheap to send emails. It will still be cheaper than having signal-based campaigns or signal-based prospects where you don't even know whether they have the signal or not. In this case, you will actually get a yes or no, whether they have the signal that you're asking for or not, which is like a very sure way of finding out, right? And then if you know, you can have a very, 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 very personalized offer for that specific person because you know exactly what kind of intent they have. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is how we run like signal-based campaigns if we ever run a couple. I usually think that like if you just ask the question and then make the offer immediately, you save yourself some time. But some people, some companies, some clients that we've worked with, they're like very conscious of their brand, and they really want to make sure that they make as little damage as possible, whatever that means. Like, I don't think you will damage your reputation with this if you literally just ask for their intent and then make the offer in the same email. But apparently, like as you can see, there's a solution for everything. And if you really wanted to go like the safe route, this is the way to save your brand, save a lot of money, and get actually accurate data. Yes, I quickly wanted to present this. And with that said, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.